I've seen seasons come and go, watched these crops grow high and low, worked this land with these two hands, felt the earth crumble where I stand. Out here yonder, time moves slow, but my spirit's good and my heart is full. I found a place where I belong, where a firm handshake still settles right from wrong. It's a simple
Good afternoon, TSC family. I had a chiropractor appointment this morning. I came home about 12:30 the time I got home. So I fell asleep. My wife walked in the door, I was knocked out here. And I thought, oh my God, that's supposed to be a live broadcast it too. I slept right there, y'all. Honestly. Probably many of you sleep through mine too. We may have problems here, guys. Alright, we can go in just a minute here.
Dancing across that Amarillo sky, singing Sweet Home Alabama, forever country.
Alright, y'all. Please share. Especially live, please. Thank you. So National Hurricane Center update. They last updated at 2 p.m. this afternoon. The next update will probably come in at 8. Have a 90% chance of 91L. We now have 91L that the National Hurricane Center has declared as an invest. Do we have any concern here? Yeah, we do. If you look at the vorticity here at 925 millibars, and if you look at satellite video of the loop coming in, this right here is not 91L. This right here is 91L. It's right on the 35-degree line right here, as you can see. This is the 45-degree line. If you look at the National Hurricane Center line right here, they're right on that 35-degree line. So there is where Invest 91 is. Many people are getting mixed up between this and this little thing right back here. This right here is 91L right back here, not this right here. Now, need to watch this right here too? Maybe. But this right here is our invested interest right here. And then behind this is also going to be a problem. And it's a little further south, as you can see. So there is 95L right there. Not here, but right there. Here's the lower convergence. It's almost off the chart here, but 91L is sitting right there. Again, look at the lower convergence in the forefront of it, though. How about divergence aloft? There's good divergence there, and it's good divergence back here where 91L is located at. So this right here does bear a little bit of watching right here. It does bear just a tiny bit of watching and see if that's going to materialize anything. And you look at 925 millibar vorticity here. Look over here in the Gulf right now. Fairly good vorticity there, isn't there? Is there any convergence? There is some convergence, say, near Cuba, but nothing up there where the vorticity is. So there's nothing to worry about there on the tail end of this frontal boundary. Boy, there for a while we thought maybe we might have something to worry about right here. I don't think we got nearly as much to worry about there at this time. Maybe down the road, but I don't think that tail end of that frontal boundary is going to materialize into anything right now. The 5 global models, this is the Canadian model, as 91L, probably turning out in the open Atlantic. The European model hasn't moved through the Caribbean. The GFS model hasn't moved through the Caribbean. Now, will this be a good Gabriella, which is what will become of this? The next name up, I think, is Gabriella. Will Gabriella turn out in the open Atlantic? Or is it going to keep going toward the general direction toward, say, Florida? Boy, I tell you what, a lot of unanswered questions right now. If you look at the NCP ensembling 5 days out, the general direction of now look at this thing right down here. This is 91L right back here, and look at this in the forefront. Man, there is model kind of showing development of this down here as well, along with 91L right there, as you can see. If you look at the intensity guidance, it's always nice to see what does intensity look like for this thing. Well, we're probably going to get a tropical depression forming there in about 24 to 36 hours out. Then in about hour 60, about 60 hours out, we'll probably get a tropical storm. Then in about 72 hours, or maybe a little bit longer than that, we might get a hurricane out of this then, as a possibility. If you look at the current ensembles, now this is the current ensembles. Doesn't mean it's going to be correct, y'all. But the current ensembles on Invest 91L, you can see the European ensembling probably has this curving out into the open Atlantic. Probably. The GFS ensembles curves a little bit less, okay? But then look what happens toward the end here. But guys, it flattens out a little bit here. And I'll show you that on the global models. The current ATCF track guidance has it going in the general direction straight westward, as you can see. Probably going to make its way maybe in the Caribbean here. Not something we really ever really want to see, but that's what the current track guidance here is. If you look at the HAFSA storm on 91L, let's just watch it. Let's see what it shows. Now, since we got the Invest going, we can look at the hurricane models. Hurricane models gives us a lot more info. So that right there has a 43 mile per hour tropical storm at that point there. It's kind of hard to tell where this is located at, isn't it? It is. There's a way I can do that though. I can zoom this back out and come in here and go to this right here. But it doesn't show it there though. Okay, I can't do it yet on that. All right. How about this one? Can we do it on this one? It's not coming up there yet. So the models are still refreshing yet, and I cannot show you. I can show it on the HWF model. It is coming in on it. So the HWF model has Gabriella, soon to become Gabriella, sitting right there. The HMON model has Gabriella sitting right here as a weak tropical system. So anywhere from a tropical storm to a tropical depression is really what the hurricane models has given us right before the islands here. Now, if you go to the European model here. Let's go to the European ensembles first. We'll go look at those first. What did the European ensembles do today? They tracked further south, haven't they? Notice right here. They're tracking further south, guys. Now we got a lot more guidance into the Caribbean, maybe toward Puerto Rico to a certain degree, but they still break out into the open Atlantic right there for the most part. Not totally. You can see there is some of the guidance is moving into the Caribbean, as you can see. Man, the ensembles are still showing something coming out of the Bay of Campeche area. I'm looking at it right there. There it is right there. Still got something coming out of the Bay of Campeche. So this is the European ensembles. Man, it's really hard to say where this thing's going to go right now, isn't it? Is it going to stay for the south, move all the way through the Caribbean, or is it going to move out into the open Atlantic right there, as most of the ensembles are doing? Okay, next up is the European AIFS model. Here it is. Now, the global models today have been wishy-washy, and I'll show you what I'm talking about by that. Now, look what the AIFS global model is doing. It's got a lot more ensembles going in toward the Caribbean and moving out of the Caribbean in toward the Bahamas, smack in Florida. And then you got another system back there behind it even. Okay, next up is the GFS ensembles. It's in the middle of updating right now. Go back to 12Z run. Still got something trying to pull out of the Caribbean there. Look at that on the Canadian ensembles. Moves in toward into the Gulf. Then 91L, where's it going? Wow! Look what the Canadian ensembles are doing all of a sudden, guys. It's moving 91L into the Gulf as a monster. I'm sorry. This is the GFS ensembles. Cat dogs got mixed up there myself. Let's say that's unusual to see the Canadian model do that. Okay, let's look at that again. I got my eyes got a fix there in the Gulf. I forgot where I was at there. Okay, let's watch this again. You got something coming out of the Caribbean there. You got 91L back here. They split. Some of it goes here, some of it's right here. Y'all, I'll tell you what. These ensembles are still pulling something out of the Caribbean around the 14th. So we may have a double trouble. We may have something coming out of the Caribbean into the Gulf. It may have something to watch back in here. And that system, the 91L, look where it's at there on the GFS ensembles. Some of the model guidance has it way over here in the Gulf as a bad boy. Bad girl, should be called. Here's the Canadian ensembles. There's 91L. Here it comes. There's a system in the Caribbean there. And it's pretty well got 91L curving out into the open Atlantic for the most part. All right, now let's look at the models, the global models. What did they do today? Well, I'll tell you what. This morning, I looked at this morning. It's like, holy crap, what just happened overnight? The European model and the GFS model had a hurricane setting right here in the Bahamas and moving toward Florida. That did not look pretty, did it? And y'all, that's just one model run that were sequenced together, long range. And it's not something you really ever really want to see. But it was just one model agreement that just happened to be laying right on top of each other. Does not mean that's going to happen. Matter of fact, there was I told you guys there was low confidence in that happening because it's too far out in time to have a strong agreement with something like that. But man, they were laying right on top of each other, weren't they? Okay, here's the European global model. What did it do this afternoon? It's got this system moving much further south. Moving through the Caribbean, doesn't it? Where's it setting at right there? It's setting right on top of Dominican Republic right now. doesn't really materialize into anything. There's another system behind it. Now, it might come together right here in the Gulf. You can see the area low pressure there in the Gulf. Doesn't really get going there, but there it is setting right there in the Gulf. Is where it's setting it. As a very, very weak area low pressure right there. Now let me show you what the model did early this morning. Look where it's setting it. As a bad girl. That's a very bad girl. That's a 103 knot storm. For those of you who really want to know. 103 knot storm. Alright. What did the current AIFS ensemble give us here? Notice the split on the model guidance. Part of 91L is up here. Part of it's back here. You have another storm system behind it. Florida, you need to watch this really, really, really close, y'all. Southern tip of Florida and up the east coast, and even maybe the west coast of Florida, need to be a little, just a tiny bit concerned about this a little bit. Just a tiny bit. One eye open right now, y'all. That's what I call it, one eye open. Okay, next up is the GFS ensembles. Yep. The GFS model is updating as we speak right now, so I'll post that model update after it finishes. I'll do a post after the live here. Still got something coming out of the Caribbean here. Look at that. Same timeline. September 12th, 13th, 14th timeline. Got something coming out of the Caribbean here. And that's not 91L. That is something completely different. Then you got 91L in this area right in here. Is it going to be over here? Is it going to be over here? Well, I hope that's not the outcome. That would be bad. And here is the Canadian ensembles. What am I doing? Hold on here. I'm supposed to be going through the global models, aren't I? My apology, guys. I tell you what, my mind's messed up right now. To say the least, isn't it? Not doing a very good job here. Sorry about that. All right, here is the European AFS again. Let's look at it one more time. I'll tell you what, man. If you're ever into chiropractor and they mess you over really good, it plays havoc with you. It really does. Okay, here is the AIFS here. What did it do? Okay, it's got the area low pressure. This is a system behind it. It looks like it's setting about in this area right there, just about Dominican Republic area. Now it has another area low pressure. Look at it coming out of the Atlantic in toward the Caribbean. Okay, next up is the GFS. Now, y'all, the GFS, I'll say it again, and James says all the time, it's the best sniffer of them all. Doesn't mean it's going to be right all the time, but it kind of sniffs out things well before anything else does. It did so with this one. Okay, the GFS model is a middle updating, so I'll go to the 12Z run. But the current update that's coming in right now, you see it setting right there. Where was it on the previous run, the 12Z run? About the same place. So it looks like it's going to be about the same outcome. So let's watch it now. This is the 12Z run of the GFS. Boy, it's a race right straight toward Florida, isn't it? Race right straight toward Florida. This thing does. High pressure sets in aloft overhead, and no place for it to go, gets blocked in. So I'm going to zoom in here for a second into the Caribbean. So this is the current GFS model run the 12Z. The 18Z is updating right now. But let me just show you this a few things here. And I'm going to show you what the European model did last night and what it looks like with the GFS from last night. Am I concerned about what we've seen here from this morning with this? Well, it is something that we must watch. That's got about a 62 mile per hour tropical storm right there. 75 right there. Let's just leave it right there for a second. This is the 12Z run. Now, last night, okay, and early this morning, this is the 6Z run. Here is the late night run from last night. That's the 00Z run. The GFS model is consistently putting a hurricane out there, isn't it? Now look where the 00Z run is at 294 hours out. Here's the 6Z run. It's further west, isn't it? Here is the 12Z run. Where's that? Well, it's even further west yet and further south. You see the consistency that's happened all day? Further west, and further south. That's what's happened with the GFS model. If you look again at the, I'm going to go back to the 12Z run, and I'm going to pull up the European model here now. From last night. Look where it's at. And what does it do? We do not want to see anything moving in that kind of direction. But we do. And the crazy thing is, though, y'all, there's a 129 mile an hour hurricane right there at the European model showed early this morning at about 3 o'clock in the morning. Again, consistency is one thing. Well, we don't have consistency here on the European model. The 00Z run's there. The 12Z run, where's it located at? It's hardly even visible. So it kind of did away on the current European model run. It's way down here as a very, very weak system. How much confidence do I have in this European model being correct? Y'all, I don't give any model any credit any more than I would give a model credit for being wrong or even being right. You can't look at one model run and say that's absolutely what's going to happen. Or you can't look at one model run and say that may not happen. You can't do that. You got to look at the combination of models altogether. So what we've seen over the last 24 hours is this. We've seen models trending westward and southward and not maybe working its way out into the open Atlantic. We've not, on the global models, we've not seen that major turn into the open Atlantic, did we? We've really not. We've seen consistency today of a more westward move. Tornado warning in New York right now, James says. Oh, what's going on here? Well, I don't know where's that, James. I don't see a warning up here anywhere. It may pop in there. Okay. So again, what have we seen? We've seen a consistent move toward the west today on the models. That's what we've seen. Will that trend continue? Well, we're going to look at that overnight. We'll have to wait overnight. Okay, so overnight we'll look at the models. Matter of fact, I'll probably do another live tonight before I go to bed. I'll watch a football game tonight, and then it's going to be a late evening broadcast. But nonetheless, I want to do that. I want to see what the models did here and what the ATCF track guidance is, and we'll see what the National Hurricane Center had to say. All right, so we got to see consistency with these models. When they come and go like this, that's not consistent. The European model's been having a bad girl up here to nothing burger down here. We need to see consistency within the models, and we don't see that right now. The only one that's really been consistent has been the GFS model. It's consistently been giving us a fairly bad storm system moving toward the general direction of the Bahamas. Now, after that, it might curve. It might go out over in the Gulf area. Who knows where it's going to go? But we must see consistency. If we don't have that, I can't worry about too much. Not until consistency shows up. All right. I don't see any questions out there. Did the GFS, did the model ever pop up with a storm? James, that should still pop up here, though.
Your dinner's ready.
All right, Kim. I still don't see still don't see a tornado warning on this. No, don't see a warning. Nope, I don't have a warning, James. Sorry. It's on Omega. No, there it is. The white doesn't show up on radar scope. That's strange. Yeah, there it is right there, though. Tornado warning for northeastern Oneida County in central New York is where it's located at. That's strange that the radar scope has not showed anything up here yet. That's really strange. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. My wife just peeped in and said that dinner is ready. So we'll come back tonight after the football game is over with and do another live to see what the models have done. Everyone have a good night. Have a great dinner. God bless y'all, and I'll see you guys after the football game. Have a good night, everyone. Or have a good evening, I should say. We'll say good night tonight.